out there, and welcome to Small Beards and Big Opinions.
Where the world is crazy, but luckily, so are we.
My name is Eddie Boyce,
And I'm Shaner.
and welcome back, everyone. History and Hypotheticals, Season 2. We're back.
Season 2. Season 1 was really long.
It really wasn't. There was only like 7 episodes, I think.
It felt really long. Wait, no, there's no way we only did 7 of those.
Yeah. Well, okay. It might have been more than 7. Let's check. Let's just,
I don't know. Maybe it's just because we don't do them like week after week because we have other things we cut in there.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's the problem.
I'm pretty sure that's it. Let's check the old YouTube. Playlists. History Hypotheticals. 8. We did 8.
Wow. It feels like a lot more than that.
Yeah, I felt like a lot longer, but it doesn't matter because we're back. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, segment 1.
Great start, people. Great start.
Great start. First segment.
Redacted.
This is a bit about conspiracy theories. This falls under the hypothetical part of history and hypotheticals. And what this is, every week, Eddie and I are going to come up with a fake conspiracy theory. They will range from probable to insane. And we will be discussing them and how valid they could be and what they are. And I think it's going to be a ton of fun. So that's
Redacted.
Okay, Sainer. So who should go first? Me or you? I think I have the crazy. I did share my conspiracy theory Shaner beforehand because I want to make sure he was cool with it. I think mine's more crazier out of the two from what you were saying about yours.
I don't think it's that crazy. I mean, it's crazy, but it's plausible. That's the thing.
It's plausible. Okay, so you think I should go first then?
I think you should.
Okay.
So mine doesn't seem as normal.
Okay, sure. All right, buckle up, folks. Here's what he got. So, Shaner, what was probably the biggest like pop culture sensation in 2023?
Can't think of a clever answer. Taylor Swift.
Bingo. Yep, she was basically it. Couldn't go anywhere without seeing her. And to get even more specific, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. You could argue her Eras Tour. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the power duo, the power couple, football and pop music coming together to form a media superpower. That's not how that. Never mind. Let's just continue on. So, Shaner, here's what I'm proposing. I think not even proposing. This is what I believe. I believe this, Shaner. 1,000%. I think it's fact. I think Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are a PSYOP by the American government to better develop the American family. Now, I spat a lot of words there, so we're going to go by this piece by piece. So, let's talk about Taylor Swift first. Okay, strong single woman. That's been her like brand for like forever. She's got like, different eras and different like, feels and vibes and all that, but I think probably one of the most central themes throughout all that is that, she's strong, she's independent, she's her own woman. And she's not going to be bossed around, and she's going to romanticize who she wants to romanticize, okay? So, here's the problem with this current relationship between her and Travis Kelce. It would break that dynamic. She would not be the strong... She would still be strong, but she would not be independent anymore because she would have a very strong husband. All right, so how we reconcile this? Or even then, why are they in a relationship? Because, she could just break up with him and do the same thing over again where she breaks up with someone and then creates a banger song. But she's done that already. That's already happened. So why would she do this again? Okay. I'm going to throw some stats at you, Shaner, that are definitely...
Stats. I can understand those.
Okay, I say stats. I didn't pull specific ones because I was lazy and didn't do that. But I'm pretty sure that single parenting is at an all-time high in America. Okay?
That checks out.
All right. About 75% of Gen Zers are not fit to join the army. Furthermore, Gen Zers, and this is me and you, by the way, we're technically Gen Z. Gen Zers or the having the least amount of kids out of any generation. Now, no, it's still early for us, but like, what's the word I'm looking for? Percentage wise, of like where we are now compared to like people, other geners during their, 20s and stuff, we're having the least amount of kids. So you've got all these different problems. Single parenting, not being fit enough, and like at least having amount of kids. What's the common solution behind all of this? The American family is crumbling. And so the American government's like, hey, we need to fix this. How do we fix this? Well, going back to my original point, the federal government has recruited Taylor Swift to basically bolster and reinforce the idea and the prosperity of the American family, and better promote it too, better promote the idea. Okay. So this plan that the government has, it doesn't work out for Taylor. Okay. It doesn't make sense. Again, strong, independent woman. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
So to entice her and to convince her, I'm sure they gave her other things or are going to promise her other things. But I think that the success of her Eras tour, I think that had to do with the federal government. I think that they bolstered it and pushed it with their government power and money to make it a global phenomenon, okay? She is so famous because of the government, okay? So what does this mean moving forward? So due to some very tactfully calculations on my part, I think Taylor and Travis, they're going to get married in 2026. Okay? Now, they might be in a relationship, or they might, hide their marriage. But I think they're going to go public with their marriage in 2026. And it's going to coincide with a whole new brand change and a whole new type of album for her. And it's going to culminate into this strong couple and promoting, family values at the very least, or the importance of family. I know that sounded really like Vin Diesel, but you get the idea.
Family.
Vin
Diesel's behind the whole thing.
Why? So that's my theory, Shaner. They're going to get together and they're going to get married in 2026, and it's all because of the federal government.
Okay, I have two, not to take this too seriously, I have two rebuttals to your theory.
Oh, only two rebuttals. Okay, good.
Only two.
Good, only two.
I like where it's coming from.
Uh-huh.
And I would have believed it 3 years ago. Now, here's what I mean by that.
Okay.
First problem, the government bolstering her Eras tour, actually, I believe they were fighting against it when that whole Ticketmaster scam went down. In fact, I believe she garnered a lot of negative attention from the whole Ticketmaster Ticketmaster disaster.
Okay,
if
but
nobody's coined that yet, I want to. Ticketmaster disaster.
That was Ticketmaster's fault, though. That wasn't Taylor's doing.
But you have to admit, it probably left. Nobody else had a problem with Ticketmaster until this big, that it reached the federal government. It was on the the Congress floor. It was such a big deal.
I mean, okay. Ticketmaster's been a problem. Okay, it's just that whole thing
exactly
that was so bad that the government couldn't ignore it.
That's what I'm saying. So Taylor Swift kind of caused them a problem. Ticketmaster was a problem. I'm not saying it isn't Ticketmaster's fault, but they were doing bad, but under the radar. Then Taylor Swift comes along, and all of a sudden, Ticketmaster gets moved to the government floor. That's a big thing. Second problem.
Hold on. I fail to see how that rebuttals, how that's against my argument.
Would they bolster the Eras tour, which would cause more of a Ticketmaster problem?
I don't think so. Because what is Ticket? The government doesn't care about Ticketmaster.
They obviously care about Ticketmaster.
Well, they cared about it because enough people made a hullabaloo, and it was that egregious of a markup.
Exactly. So if they continue to bolster this Eras tour, you might cause further problems. If anything, they would want to shut it down. But
okay,
the bigger problem I have with this theory is, and I'm going to try to phrase this in a way where we don't necessarily have to share political opinions on the air. I think this theory would have been valid 3 to 4 years ago, but I don't think the American family is as important to our current majority government as it was in the past. If that's as vague as I'm willing to
Bro.
make.
What?
The idea of your typical
Okay.
American dream, American family
Okay. Okay.
is less important to those in government now than it used to be.
Okay. Okay. All right.
You
I,
see what
I
I'm
I see what
saying?
you're putting down. I see what you're
I
putting
do
down.
like the theory. I just think it was valid. It would have been valid a couple of years ago.
Well, maybe they made the deal a few years ago, and now the contract's written up, and they have to go through with it.
Now, see, that makes sense.
Well, all this stuff
So,
takes a lot of planning.
uh, Taylor, we know you're listening, or
Clearly.
Travis. We'll talk to either one of them. Either one of you guys are listening. You can tell us if this is real.
Yeah, we're on to
We
you.
won't. We won't fib. We're not
Oh,
going to
I
share
already
that.
fibbed. What do you mean? I already fibbed. I know the truth.
We won't tell people if this isn't a conspiracy theory. If it's just the truth, because right now people just think we're ranting about fake conspiracy theories.
This
You
is my
can tell us.
conspiracy theory, which is a true conspiracy theory.
All right. So, I thought that conspiracy theory was going to be a bit more grounded.
I don't know what you were
forgot
thinking.
that there was a government angle to that. So mine's going to seem a little more boring, but what I believe to be a little more plausible.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it, Chandler. What are you thinking? What are you
Okay.
cooking?
My theory is that big companies, like people always complain about big pharmacy or whatever.
Yeah, big pharma.
There are a couple of companies I believe are playing the market to keep their products relevant, especially whenever their products are a one-use only item.
Uh-huh.
Let me explain what I mean by that. Let's start with razors because it's the biggest example I've been seeing.
Okay. Are
Eddie,
we talking
you have a beard.
like razors in general or like male or female or whatever?
Doesn't matter.
Gotcha. Okay.
Eddie, you have a beard, don't you?
You know what, Shaner? We wouldn't be called small beards, big opinions if I did not have a beard.
Now, occasionally you've had to shave, haven't you?
Yes.
All right. And what kind of razor do you use?
That's a good question. I think it's a Gillette.
No, not the brand. What kind?
Oh.
How many blades?
3.
3. Okay. So a multi-blade razor.
Yes, multi-blade razor. There you go.
And growing up, did your dad shave?
Yeah, of course.
And he used a multi-blade razor?
I think so, yes.
So did mine. Now, there was a time that people used single-bladed razors. And I'm not talking about the flip open Sweeney Todd straight razors.
Yeah, not a what are they called?
But like a
Switchblade.
single cartridge, single-bladed razor.
Yeah.
And you'd swap out the blade. All right. So would you believe me if I told you those are making a comeback right now?
Yes, I have heard about that.
So my theory is that every so often, because of course we're all buying 3-blade razors, but eventually it gets old. So some, big razor decided, hey,
razor.
let's make single-bladed razors cool again. So people will have to buy a whole new thing.
Uh-huh.
And they will tell them, no, bad. 3-blade razors are terrible for your skin. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we had single-blade razors, right?
Right,
in the past.
right.
And multi-blade razors came out and everybody said, this is the next big thing. Using one blade is bad. We gave you multiple blades. This is a better shave,
Sure.
right?
Right, okay, yeah, following.
So now they're coming back out with single blade razors, which originally were irrelevant. And now they're saying, hey, multi-blade razors suck. They are causing your skin to get red. They are not shaving great. Your hair doesn't grow back good. It traps hair under the surface. Single blade razors will fix that problem.
Right, okay.
And now let's jump a couple years in the future. I will bet you that we'll switch back to multi-blade razors and they'll come back into style. You see where I'm going with this?
So what you're saying is that basically big razor, as you call it, is having a cyclical marketing campaigns to make it so that both types of razors are always used.
Yep. To either get rid of old product or to just keep people buying more and more and more and reinvigorating the market. But it's not just razor. All right. Let's look at music devices.
Okay. Oh, okay. I know where you're going with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did people used to play their music on? Record players
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
cassette
Yeah. Yeah.
tapes. Then we invented CDs. Then we invented MP3 players and digital music. But now you walk into Walmart, you walk into Goodwill, or even like department stores. And what do you see on the shelves? Record players.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that's the hip, cool thing, even though they were kind of phased out because they were becoming more and more irrelevant. And a
Sure.
couple, and cassette players too, especially with Guardians of the Galaxy being so popular. Cassettes were brought back into style. Now everyone wants a record player and a cassette player. And in a few years, I'm not saying people are leaving digital music, but in a few years, maybe we'll cycle back to CDs and people will say, oh, CDs are because that's what you hear about record players. They're the best way to hear some of these songs. Like it doesn't sound the same as digital music.
No, that's
A
factual.
few,
That is factual.
Eddie, you're feeding the problem. You are part of the problem.
No, that's true. Look it up.
Uh huh.
Listen.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
every time.
Eddie's part of the
Okay, I'm gonna get on
problem.
a rant real fast, and I'll try not
Go
to take
ahead.
too
Yeah.
much of your time.
Go ahead.
So
Brainwash our listeners. Go
yes,
ahead.
it is proven record players have the smoothest, most, I guess, accurate. I'm not an audiophile, so like I'm not the best on the terminology here, but that's the
Uh
most
huh.
accurate, not fulfilling, but like full way to listen to music because just how like the record is and the physical grooves. That's just how it is. And then as you go to each type of medium, well, music plays differently based on those types of music, or sorry, those types of media. So like a song in a cassette player is going to sound different than a song on a CD player just because of how it's recorded it and not recorded, but how it's, I don't know the specific word, but basically because of how the medium is. That's the be all end all.
It's spoken like a true audiophile and a true
No,
sellout.
I definitely not, I'm not an audiophile.
Sellout. That's what you are. You are feeding the problem, my friend.
For the record, I've always been a CD guy, but I did kind of get into the record phase. But that's because of a different reason. So
Here we go. He's a living example of the problem
sorry, I'm not,
right here, folks.
I'm trying not to take away from your conspiracy theory. Keep going. Keep
Okay.
going.
Next, the same thing, but with clothes. Vintage clothes coming back around has been a common trend since I don't know when.
Sure.
For a while there, and you had normal clothes. Then everybody wants to wear these weird future things. I keep seeing this stupid TikTok pop up on my Instagram feed of like these sunglasses that wrap around the back of this guy's head.
What?
They're really goofy looking. They're like goggles almost. And then instead of going over the ears, they have like big plastic things that wrap up around in the back of your head.
I've never seen that before, but
They look
I'm off
stupid,
TikTok. So
but they were like a fancy thing, a futuristic thing in the early 2000s. And everybody wanted to wear chrome and shiny things. But now you see this trend on social media. People want to start wearing vintage clothing again.
yeah,
And so eventually we'll go back to wanting to wear future things. It's a cyclical market and it's designed by big razor and big music and big fashion to keep us buying, 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 buying. Now, I don't have a problem with people buying things, but wake up, sheeple. You are being just scammed. If the razors is the one that bugs me the most. Like, if multi-blade razors are so bad for your skin that we have to start using single blade razors again, why did we switch to multi-blade razors?
yep.
There was marketing to prove they were better than single-bladed razors, and yet for some reason now these dum-dums want us to believe that all of a sudden multi-blade razors are the worst thing you can do for your skin. I don't buy it. I'm not being scammed. Don't be like Eddie. Don't believe the hype.
I use a multi blade razor like you.
Yeah, I'm talking about your obsession with music.
Okay, hold on. Okay. All right.
Sell out.
Okay, I'm going to come in here for real. Okay, Shader's like not wrong. Okay, so this gets back to the idea of what drives market trends, okay? Is it the marketing or is it the people that drive trends? I think in this case, what Shader's talking about, and I think this is kind of the consensus, not that I'm again an expert in this or anything, but the consensus is that like Gen Z, they've kind of driven this new like 90s, 80s kind of aesthetic. That they're bringing that back. And I guess Gen Alpha too, now they're getting older, but we're the reason why, these older things are coming back and why record players are coming back and why we're doing the high-waisted jean thing. And probably because of the razors, because back then people used single blade razors.
Yeah, but it's not like they're saying, hey, be hip like it was in the 1980s or whatever. They're saying use a single blade razor because multi blade razors just make your skin awful and it sucks and it's just going
Yeah.
to kill you before you're 30 years old.
You could be right. It could just be that, what you said earlier is they're trying to get, keep both razors being used. I'm just saying that's a plausible reason as to why the single blade's coming back. It could be, other reasons why.
It's big razor.
It's big razor. You're right. It's big razor.
The big BR.
You can't control his big razor. This is my beard.
I'm going to keep on using a multi blade razor until I'm dead.
Yeah.
And if I die before 30 because of my multi blade razor, so be it. That's my lot in life. Put that on my tombstone.
Okay, can I share a story about single blade razors real fast? Are you done, by the way? I don't want to.
Yeah, that's the whole conspiracy theory.
Okay, well done, Shaner. Very good. I think that's actually a very
and I also want to
plausible
say
theory.
real quick, we promised this week was a little realistic on the conspiracy theories. They will go off the rails in the next couple of iterations of
Oh
this
yeah,
episode.
yeah. They're gonna be. Don't worry, we're ramping it up, folks. This was just
to soak your feet in the water before we just push you right in and drag you down kicking and screaming.
Oh yeah, for sure. Anyway, so I see single blade razor story. So back when Shana and I were in college, this was like I think 2018, 2019. I was still living in the resident hall. Can I say the hall name? I'm not gonna say the hall name.
I don't see why not.
Okay, we were both living in the resident hall, Thayer Hall. Okay, so the resident
Was this
director
before
there,
or after we were roommates?
This is actually no. This was before we were roommates, so 2018.
Gasp.
Yeah, I know. Gasp.
Dark
we weren't ever
times.
roommates. Our whole brand, the whole story we built. Anyway, so for like one of the hall activities, they decided to put on a beard growing contest.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, and me at the time, I mean, I have a beard now. I was like, younger, but I still feel like I had somewhat of a chance. So I entered into this thing. So the rule was you had to shave your beard at the beginning of, actually, this might have been for No Shave November. Now that I'm thinking about this, it might have been for that. Anyways, you had to shave your beard completely at the beginning of the month, and then the judges you would all gather for the judges to judge you at the end of the month to just see how much your beard had grown. So it really wasn't like a beard contest. It was more like how fast can your beard grow in a month sort of thing, but whatever. So I do this. I shave my beard off, and I go, for the next month without shaving. So at the end of the month, we all gather. I end up winning. Somehow, some way. I guess the people with real beards didn't show up because I didn't have one. You guys can't see.
I can't think of anybody else in that dorm that really had. I could think of one other guy who might have been there who had a beard, but I can tell you he would not have shaved it for that contest.
Yeah, probably not. And this was not under, but this was a hall meant for freshmen and sophomores and
Yeah, he would have been a freshman with us.
Sorry, what?
I'm gonna say his name, either bleep it out or cut this part out. I don't think that would have entered that. Do you remember?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't think he would have
enter.
shaved.
He never entered.
He would not have shaved to do that contest.
No, definitely not, because he had that great mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to that guy if you know who we're talking about. I'll bleep the name just cause, but shout out to him. Anyways, so So I mean, anyways, I ended up winning this thing somehow, some way. I think I had like an inch or like
Not
three
bad.
quarters of an inch. It wasn't like crazy, but like it was enough to beat everyone out just because
Right.
mine was just long and like full enough. So the prize for winning was a shaving kit, which included a single blade razor. Eventually, I didn't try it out until I went home on break because I didn't want to like, go into a public bathroom and like try and mess with this thing for like an hour or something. I just didn't want to do it. I waited until I got home. So I go home and I try out this thing. Now, what's like one of the biggest major complaints about single blade razors, Shaner?
Cutting your skin off.
Exactly. It's really easy to cut yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how hard I tried with this thing, I could not shave with it. I had
Yeah,
the
that checks out.
hardest time with it. I couldn't even cut myself to save my life. Like, okay,
Were
maybe
you trying?
that's not
Eddie's like, I was trying so hard to gash my face open. Couldn't do it.
Okay, not the right uses of word there. But the point being, I couldn't get to shave. I like
Please tell me you kept the guard on the whole time and didn't realize. Is that where
no,
the
no, no,
story's
no,
going?
no.
Oh, okay.
I had it set up right because like I checked it with my dad to make sure like
Right.
was I using this right? It's like yeah, you're doing it right. It's just not doing anything for you. For whatever reason, I don't know why. I was definitely doing something wrong. I just don't know to what this day I was doing.
Oh,
wrong.
you don't know the answer.
I have no idea.
I was gonna
Why?
say maybe you like put the blade in upside down and had the blunt end out.
No, no, no. I didn't have the blunt end. I had the sharp end because like I mean, I definitely tested it with my thumb. I did not
Right.
hurt myself. I didn't cut myself.
Oh, I've done that.
Well, that's part of the problem. Like I was expecting to cut myself and like here I am like trying every which way to like shave and like I neither cut my hair or my skin. So like I don't know. So
Well,
anyways,
I guess you count yourself lucky.
I guess I ended up giving the kit to my dad and he still uses it to this day.
So he got it to work.
Yeah, so he got it to work and he uses it. So that's my experience with single blade razors.
I remember that contest. I don't think I had a beard at that point.
No, you did not.
I
Or if
was
you did, you had
clean
like
shaven.
stubble, I think.
No, I think I was clean shaven that whole freshman year. I don't think I grew a beard until our first break. And at that point, I just grew a goatee, like a little just lip in the chin. And I didn't grow a full beard like I have now, which is right now it's still short from the last time I shaved it. I don't think I grew a full beard until after we were roommates because I was in quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was only allowed to use the public bathroom to go to the bathroom. They had a stall marked off.
Yeah.
And I couldn't use the public sink to shave. So I was just like, well, if nobody has to see me and I'm stuck in here for 2 weeks, I'm not shaving it. And now I have a full beard and it's just become my style.
And thus birthed our beards era.
Mm-hmm. But right now both our beards are small, but mine gets pretty big whenever I let it grow.
Yeah. I mean, you saw me when I had my freaking unkept squirrel nest.
I think you should go back down to mustache.
No.
I think you could wait. Hold on. Don't move your face. No, dude, actually, I think it works. I'm covering up your chin right now with my hand. I think you could get away with like if you shaved this part and down on your chin so you kept the little like under your lip and the mustache going down, you could pull it out. You could do like a Dutch van der Linde.
Okay.
You know what I'm referring to?
Yeah, I know what you're referring to. Okay.
I think you should do it.
I have a mustache story since we're talking about that.
Oh, a mustache story too.
I have a mustache story. Should I tell this? Okay.
I could tell my mustache story after this if you want.
Well,
I bet mine's a little more embarrassing.
No, I guess since we're on this, we'll talk about it. Okay. You'll see why I'm a little hesitant. So, junior year of high school, it was either a junior or a senior of high school. I forget when. So I was younger. I couldn't grow a beard as well, but like I could still grow a beard. I could start growing a beard as like a sophomore, but it wasn't like great. It was kind of patchy, not really, but I could pull it off. Anyways, so junior, senior year of high school, I was playing baseball. I played baseball in high school. During the season, one of our teammates died in a car accident. Okay. Oh. So really sad. Shocker, no one saw it coming. And so the teammate who had died, he had a mustache. Shout out Preston Rowe. He had a mustache when he passed away. And so, in honor of him, since I was one of the few people who could, sorry, not people, one of the few high schoolers that could grow facial hair, I decided to, in his honor, have a mustache. Okay. Well, the way that the mustache was, it wasn't fully grown. I couldn't grow a mustache very well.
If you're gonna tell me you had a mustache like a famous historical leader,
No, no, no. It wasn't as robust as his, if you catch my drift. But the way that I had shaven and the way it had looked, I got teased for looking like a Nazi.
yeah,
And I had
that'll
the
happen.
haircut too. I had a very Nazi haircut, unintentionally. This was not on purpose. It was an
Oh
accident.
yeah, sure.
It wasn't. So there's actually a picture of me out in the internet with this mustache. I'm not going to tell you where it is. If you want to find it, go for it. I'm not gonna direct you because I want that thing to never exist. Actually, I have the photo on my phone, but I'm not going to show it. So
I feel like we talked about this
you
at
gotta
one
find
point
it
because
on
I
the
think I
internet.
went and found it, or I
Did you?
tried to. No, I think I tried to, and I don't remember why we were talking about it.
Yeah, I've talked with this with other people before, but yeah, that's my that, and I think it's ugly. Like I know mustaches are a trend now.
I just think
I'm
if you
good.
did it just under your lip and kind of a little bit over the sides there, it could work. Well, I tried to grow a mustache. It
Recently,
didn't work. Not recent. I mean, it was probably right after high school, or not right after high school, right after college. Because I had a full beard at that point, so it probably was after that quarantine.
sure.
And I was like, I think my mustache is full enough I could pull this off because those were
Yeah,
coming back around, and I wanted a unique look, if you will.
sure.
Um, the problem is it's kind of one of those risky things. You don't know how it's going to turn out until you do it. And at
Right,
that point, there's no going back.
right.
So I tried to go back down to just a goatee. Didn't like the way that looked anymore. So I was like, well, at this point, I might as well try the mustache. It can't get any worse. It got worse. My grandpa had a mustache, and his was really full, and he was a cop in the 70s. So
You
of
showed
course
me a
he did.
picture of him. He looks
Yeah,
awesome.
I tried for that. Did not work. It made me look like a creep. And I'm like, I cannot keep this. I tried every which way to spin it. Did not work. So I was clean shaven there for a minute, which I hated.
Okay.
Yeah, so mustache, not for me. Full beard all the way. Now that's become my signature thing. That's what makes people think I'm old, besides my thinning hairline. And it's what's going to save me when I eventually just go fully bald.
Hey, you're a good company. I'm sure there's a bunch of historical figures that have the bold beard duo.
Oh, I'm sure.
Speaking of historical figures,
I knew that was coming.
got him. We're moving on to our next segment, folks, which is called Why Did It Happen? Shanner, what are we doing?
We're going to be talking about historical events, as is obvious by our title, history and hypotheticals. You got to have history. Now, here's what we're going to do. It's a game. This is kind of replacing fact, false as our test or quiz segment of the show. And what we're going to do is each of us are going to pick out a historical event, hopefully a little more obscure, and we're going to tell the other person the name of the event, when it took place, and who was involved, at least one important person involved. And the other person will have to guess based on those clues why this event mattered. The tricky part about this quiz is you have to determine an event where the title does not give away why it's important.
Yeah.
So you can't say the sinking of the Titanic, because that's obvious why that was important. The
Yeah.
Titanic sunk. But I think we have some good ones ready to go. So Eddie, you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. I can start us off. So, Sheener, your clues: George Washington.
Mm-hmm.
The name of the event is called the Conway Cabal. And the dates of this event are 1777 and 1778.
Okay. 1777 and 1778, George Washington and the something cabal.
Conway.
Conway Cabal.
Yes.
Well,
Tell me what you're thinking. What are you thinking?
I have to guess this is a something to do with the Revolutionary War. Let me think about my dates here. Let me rack the Rolodex in my brain for any reference to those dates. Well, this would have been maybe just at the beginning, but so this does have historical significance, as in more than just like, oh, we won the battle. Uh, I'm going to guess that this was George Washington's first major victory of the Revolutionary War. That's why it's important.
Okay. Just because this is the first time we're doing this, I'm going to, give a little pointer. I did give 2 years for this. So
Yes, you did.
1777 and 1778.
This event, you can tell I am great at history. Was this the beginning of George Washington's campaign trail to become president?
Shaner, that is not correct. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
So you're right. This had to do with the Revolutionary War, and I'm going to give you the a summary of it from worldhistory.org. That's where I'm getting this info. But basically, this was a cabal, which is a what does a cabal mean? Come on, Eddie. You're a writer. You know words. You should know this. Cabal. A secret political clique or faction. So basically, this was a plot behind George Washington's back to get rid of George Washington as general.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not what I was thinking.
No. So, according to worldhistory.com, the Conway Cabal was a movement undertaken by American military officers and political leaders to remove General George Washington from command of the Continental Army during the winter of 1777 and 1778. These patriot leaders had lost confidence in Washington's cautious style of leadership and plotted to replace him with the more energetic
I know this.
General Horatio Gates, hero of Saratoga.
Yeah, I remember this now.
Yeah.
Okay. That's on me.
Fun fact, this was during when Washington and the army was resting at Valley Forge. This was the Valley Forge winter.
That famous painting.
What?
There's a painting of that, I'm 90% sure.
Is there? I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the one of him kneeling in the snow. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe. Actually, you know what? There's this one here. Oh, you can't see my screen.
No.
Well, you guys can see it on screen, but there's this one, which there is a painting of it. So, anyways, yeah, Conway Cabal. Now you know.
History.
History.
All right, Eddie. Time for mine.
All right, hit me up, Shaner. What do you got?
My person for this event, another U.S. president, Herbert Hoover.
Okay.
The date, Monday, October 28th, 1987. And the event was called... you know what?
Dude. Dude.
Okay,
Dude.
so here's the problem.
Dude. Broski.
Hold on. This was not what I thought it was.
It's okay. It's the pilot.
Everything.
We're working out the kinks. We're working out the kinks.
Okay, I just need to know.
While Shaner's doing that, I'm just going to self-plug for a second. If you aren't already, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where we give you updates on like when the next episode's going to come out, when the episode comes out. We share memes sometimes because we like memes. And just sometimes questions, because every once in a while, Okay, I say every once in a while, but we haven't actually done it. I would like to do an episode where we involve the audience and stuff. So, like, go over there and follow us so you can look out for posts like that. Actually, here's a good example. So we had an episode last year, which was like a review clip of like our first year, and we had people tell us which clips they wanted in, and some people did, most didn't, which is cool. That's fine. I get it. But if you want to participate in stuff like that, go follow us on there, and you won't miss it.
Okay. I was close. I just had the wrong date. Let's try this again. Everything else was correct. I just looked up the wrong thing. So, the date, Monday, October 28th, 1927, not 1987.
Okay, that sounded weird to me.
27. The president, Herbert Hoover. The event name, Black Monday.
Ooh.
Why was Black Monday important? And what other famous historical event did it set off through a chain of events?
Man. By the way, folks, we're not Googling anything. Like,
nope, this is pure off the top of your head guessing.
Off the top. Give me the date one more time, Shaner, please.
Monday, October 28th, 1927. Black Monday.
Oh, man. Black Monday in October.
1929.
1929. Kind of close to Halloween.
Close.
I'm not saying it. I'm saying it's close to Halloween.
But not Halloween.
It's not Halloween, but it's close to Halloween. Black Monday. 1927?
1929.
1929. Okay. All right, well, let's think about what's going on at that time. Obviously, the Great Depression. 1920. Actually, wait, no. Yeah. I mean, Great Depression was happening around that time. World War I ended like a decade earlier or something like that. And World War II is on the horizon, unfortunately. So do I want to do something based off of the Great Depression? Or do I want to do something based off of World War II? I think we're going to do the Great Depression. I'm going to say that's the day that a lot of banks had to close or declare bankruptcy or something like that. Basically, that was the start of the Great Depression, caused by, people pulling their money and banks going broke and whatnot.
So you technically got it right.
Yes.
It was the very beginning of what would become the Great Depression.
Okay.
But Black Monday was the day the stock markets crashed.
Ah, darn it. I was so close.
But you did say it was the beginning of the Great Depression, so I will give you that. However, I would like to point out World War I ended in 1918. That was like
a decade before.
Almost 10 years. It was not right near the end of it. But it doesn't matter because you got it right.
Is that what I said? I thought I said World War I ended like a decade before. I thought that's what I said.
Maybe you did and I wasn't listening. I don't know.
That's fine. Whatever.
Woohoo! But you got the point, like you always do.
I got the gist.
I'm going to read up for the next episode. I'm going to read up on every historical event that has ever happened, no matter how small. And I will come in next week and crush it.
End of segment 2. Why did it happen? On to our third and final segment.
I'm looking forward to this segment.
I'm looking forward to this one too. Will you press the button? So we're going to hop over to our handy dandy screen sharer. This is just a website that gives you a hypothetical situation. The situation is you get a great thing, but it comes with a great cost. And so you have to choose whether to press the button and accept this great boon, but also bad consequence, or don't press the button and leave your life as normal. And for our first one, which we're going to do too, is you can create any game you want, however you want, but you can't play it. So, Shaner, would you press the button?
I would press the button.
You would press the button,
for sure. And I have a specific reason.
which is
I would love to see, because I feel like a lot of the games I would create are things a lot of people have been looking for, maybe in the Star Wars department or stuff like that. And it would be great to see people get excited for it and review it. Because especially if I can make it however I want, I can get rid of anything people don't like. And so to have something a lot of people like and to watch their reactions to it and to kind of not necessarily to get the attention. Like I don't want people to be like, "Oh, good job, you created such a great game," but just to see how happy it makes people. It's kind of like that whole, getting versus giving a gift.
yeah, yeah.
I would love to see people's reactions to a perfect game like that. So I would press the button because I think I would not be as upset about not being able to play it. I can't think of a scenario where I create a game that I want to play that badly. No matter how perfect it is, I think I could resist, especially if I got to see other people having a great time with it.
So by game, because this isn't very specific, but are we talking like a video game? We talking like a board game?
Video game for sure.
Video game. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, this one's tough for me. I think I would hit the button, and I think I would hit it because I don't know, it's your game and you're going to be playtesting it, which is
hmm
technically playing it. So I don't know if this question has that into account. I'm going to assume it's not. It does not count playtesting. So by the time this thing actually comes out, I'm going to know everything about this game, the in and out. And so like I'm not going to want to play this in my free time usually.
yeah.
So I'm going to be okay if I don't. Now, if I go to like meet and greets and stuff and people are going to want to play with me, yeah, that kind of sucks that I can't do that. But I think overall, I'd be okay with that. I'd be upset. It'd be bittersweet, but I think I'd be okay with that. So since we both agree, we're going to press the button. Okay, so after you press choose an option, basically kind of gives you the percentages of which people hit the button and which ones chose not to. So based on this, 53,605 people said yes, and 41,425 people said no. So 56-44 split.
Not a crazy split there.
Yeah, not a crazy split. I think that's fair. I think if you're considering playtesting, I would definitely not do this because I would want to playtest my game for like hundreds of hours.
I think I could do it without playtesting. I could, to watch other people play test it, and I would love to get their feedback.
Oh, I would definitely want other people want, but I also want the experience too. Like I need to make sure that what I think is happening, if that makes sense.
Right. No,
And I don't want to
got you.
put something out there that I don't enjoy. And so I don't want to be creating something I don't enjoy. So, cool. We decided on that one. Next one. Oh, ad.
Yeah. Can you say holy ads, Batman?
Yeah, well, it's a free site. What are you going to do? So, you gain the ability to speak to cats and understand their language, but if you ever tell anyone about it, you will be cursed to speak only in cat puns for the rest of your life. Yikes.
Oh, now this is a tricky one. See, I feel like what would happen if I chose this is I would end up in like a psych style situation, if that makes sense,
Psych is in the TV show?
as in the TV show,
Okay, gotcha.
where like you have this ability and you have the way to finding things out, but you cannot share it with people. So you have to make up a random thing for why, because that would be a great skill. Imagine being able to like go to the vet, work for a vet's office and be able to tell them exactly what the cat feels or dog. Well, no, it's just cats. Or like know exactly what your cat wants or stuff like that. Um, but you can't tell anyone. So if somebody asks you, hey, how do you know what this cat wants? You can't be like, oh, I can understand it. So I feel like you'd have to come up with some crazy thing like, oh, I can just feel what the cat needs when I put my hand on it. And over time, people would start to believe me because everything I say would come true. So, yes, I would.
Oh man. I don't think I would. I think that I would be very annoyed and pissed off whenever I would hear and talk to cats because they're
Mm.
just mean. They're not very
Not
nice
all
things.
cats are mean.
Uh,
You go tell that to my second cat who did nothing but nap all day.
fine, whatever. And they have a lot of self-interest and they don't really
They
care.
do. Now
But
that's true.
they have only their self-interest. I think that would just annoy me. And I don't think I'd want to talk to them. I think I'm happy living in ignorance. So I'm not going to press the button. So now me and you are kind of at crossroads. You would hit the button and I wouldn't. So we didn't think this far ahead. What should we do?
Duplicate the tab and then have one that says I will not and the other one press the button.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's going to be the same result either way.
Hit the button. It's more fun.
Okay, sounds good. We'll hit the button. I like that option. When in doubt, we'll hit the button. Okay, 62% said yes and 38% said no. So I'm in the minority, and I'm okay with that.
I think it could be fun. You imagine how much extra money you could make being a cat consultant, a cat sultant.
I guess. Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's true. I didn't think about that, but I wouldn't want that as a job anyways. Because
It wouldn't be a job, it'd be a side hustle.
side hustle.
Yeah, a vet just calls you in every once in a while, be like, hey, we cannot figure out what's wrong with this cat. And I'll be like, all right, you give me $1,000, I'll tell you what's wrong with the cat. Exactly.
Yeah,
I'll put my hands on its head and go, yes,
yeah.
it's got feline diabetes.
But
And
at
they'll be
that
like, how
point,
did you know that?
But at that point, it's like you make so much money, why not make it your main hustle? Like that's just
Because sometimes vets are too smart and too proud to tell you they need help.
okay. Yeah, sure, whatever, Shaner.
Maybe
Okay.
I enjoy my job, Eddie. I don't,
That's
but maybe I do.
That's a lie, and you know it.
It is. Yeah, I can't deny that.
All right, everyone. That's the show. We're done. Season 2 of History and Hypotheticals, Episode 1, Pilot. That was way too long. I'm sorry. It's been a while, folks. It's been a while.
It has been a good long while.
But we're done. We hope you enjoyed this. We hope you enjoyed the new segments. Please let us know what you think. Again, first episode, working out the kinks still, so apologize for how weird this looks. We'll spruce up how the video looks and stuff. But Shanner, do you need to say anything about what we've done today?
No, but if I can plug something now.
Oh.
Head on over to our friends' channel, the Garlic Boys. We did an episode with them recently.
Oh yeah.
Where we participated in some quizzing. Eddie gave us a fantastic quiz about drinks and what's in them. Our friend Connor gave a quiz on sports, which I did awesome at. Do not believe the lies. I rocked it. Didn't get any wrong.
None whatsoever. 10 out of 10.
And his co-host, Matt, also our friend, gave us a quiz on a bunch of random stuff. And I also aced that one 100%.
100%.
Left Eddie in the dust.
Left me in the dust. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so they have the one episode is on their main channel, the Garlic Boys, which is the pilot for their new show. And the second episode we did with them is on their new show, the Clever Boy Quiz, the show. Yeah. So go check those out. Check out their channel, and you can get more stuff from us. I think we have 3 episodes with them now.
3? Oh, yeah, now we do.
Yeah, 3 altogether.
Yeah. Without further ado, if you like this episode and want to see more, like it. You could also subscribe. Up to you, but it'd be nice.
You should subscribe.
You should, but you don't have
to. Why wouldn't you? No, you do have to. I'm gonna force you.
Okay, well, Shaner's gonna force you. I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna come to your house.
He would. He's threatened it several times. You wouldn't believe it.
I'm not getting creative with this. I'm gonna bring an axe.
Oh.
I'm not gonna hurt you with it. It'll be implied. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, no, you're good.
I just bought an axe
You
recently.
said you wouldn't hurt them. It would just be implied.
I'm not going to hurt anybody because everyone's going to subscribe, so I won't need to.
Yeah, you won't need to. You won't need to.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's your fault if you get hurt.
If you haven't already, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where you can keep up with the show, see when an episode's going to come out, and get little sneak peeks behind the show, what we're doing, what we're coming up with, and you can input on what we do next with certain shows. We'll make posts. You'll see. It'll be obvious. Oh, yeah, we also do memes sometimes. Memes are fun. I think that's it.
I'm going to go sharpen my axe.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to go to... Actually, I got to call my dad back because he called me and I couldn't talk to him.
Yeah, I think my mom called me and I couldn't talk to her, but she's probably asleep now.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye.
Hey there, I'm Draddy Eshab.
And I'm Renash.
And this is Small Blurbs and Big Aptars. Well, Renash, another week, another podcast. What have you been up to?
Well, I went to Earth recently.
Oh, how's that going?
One of those guided tour experience things.
Ooh,
yeah, it was supposed to be a good trip.
Okay.
We have a problem.
We have a problem.
You have a problem.
Renash, I haven't been to Earth in like years.
You haven't.
Okay.
But so let me run something by you. It's the Samps Festival.
Yeah.
What do you remember about it?
Not much. I had too much sippy, if you know what I'm saying. Good
that
night.
Explains it. Okay, so at that festival, I brought you one of, my uncle's rockets.
Oh yeah, Uncle Gisharp, right?
Yeah, Uncle Gisharp.
Yeah, how's he doing?
Still missing his toes.
Oh, okay.
So I brought you one of his rockets, and I was like, dude, save this for later. We're up on a mountain. If you launch this right now, it could be bad. You looked at me. You said, it will be fine. Stop worrying so much. And you set it off.
I did?
It went up into the atmosphere, and we both thought, it'll be fine. This will all blow over.
Well, I mean, we didn't hear about it. I don't remember this. So, yeah, it did, right?
It did not blow over. So, back to Earth. Went to Earth, got off the transport, and first thing you notice, remember those creatures we saw on Earth the last time we were there? We loved them. Big spikes.
Oh, yeah. Dinosaurs?
Yeah, those.
Okay,
dinosaurs. They're gone.
Gone.
And I don't mean like gone in a metaphorical sense. I mean, they're not there.
Like all of them?
All of them. We took the transport. We circled most of Earth. Didn't see a single one, though. Other weird thing, whole planet just completely covered in ash.
Oh. That couldn't have been us. That couldn't have been the rocket.
That's what I thought. And then the transport landed in, it used to be a dinosaur kind of breeding ground.
Okay.
And I found the debris from the rocket. A little piece of it, just enough. I hid it from them, in my jacket. So here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
The rocket hit Earth and it wiped those things out. Remember all the ash I talked about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's what happens whenever a rocket goes that fast and hits Earth. It's what we would call, an extinction event.
Oh.
They're all dead.
Oh.
Now, I'm not saying it's your fault, but if I were you, I would go to the council right now. Get on your knees, explain what happened, and just hope you're not facing criminal charges.
Bite the situation in the butt before they find out.
Exactly. Because not to beat a dead dingo, but
Dingo?
yeah, it's one of those earth creatures.
Oh, the four-legged ones.
Yeah, those ones.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of dead dingoes, they're dead too. So not to put an entire extinction on your shoulders. But yeah, it's your fault.
Well, folks, we're going to cut today's episode short because I need to plea for forgiveness from the Ottopan government. See you next week.